So Jalen Hurts is in the news, but not for what you would expect. Normally around this time of the year, you would expect it to be for like off-season training, or he's campaigning for somebody in the draft, something like that. Actually, he's in the news this time for, or I shouldn't say this time because he's not normally in the news anyway, but he's in the news for apparently, I guess you would say, being in his own way. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, which I would fully understand, Jalen Hurts is in the news because he reportedly isn't or hasn't been open to adjusting the playbook. Or like he hasn't been open and receptive to changing the playbook and doing different things. So a statement came out, and I'll read it to you guys just to give you guys a general sense of what's going on. Tim McManus and Jeremy Fowler, the ESPN NFL insiders. So it says, and I'm paraphrasing here, there was a level of unexpected in the pockets of the 25 team dating to the summer, coming off of their Super Bowl victory. Beneath the public excitement surrounding the team was an uneasy undercurrent for some internally. A team source at the time described the state of affairs as a disaster and indicated that Hurts was part of the issue, noting that whatever personality traits had rubbed people the wrong way before had grown since the championship win. And to second that up, they also say that he has pushed back on changes that would diversify the scheme, including when it comes to him going under center more. He has shown reluctance to let it rip at times, specifically against zone coverage. He diverts from the game plan and changes play calls to what some feel is an excessive degree. He also has strong preferences, coupled with the changes efforts to play to his strengths, which include his deep ball accuracy, pause on that, and his throws to the perimeter, which limits how the offense can expand, or at least that's the way it has gone in the past. So, from what, like I said, Tim McManus and Jeremy Fowler say, apparently he is reluctant to change certain things or adjust to certain things in his, in his current offense. He doesn't want to change certain things. He's kind of, I guess you would say, not scared, but uneasy about doing certain things in the offense. So my take on that is simple. If it's what they say as far as just the play calls, I can understand why that can affect teammates a certain way, because from the teammates' perspective, and obviously I'm not getting this from anyone. This is just my personal opinion. You would have to ask the players how they feel about it. And obviously I'm not an NFL player myself. I'm in media. I'm a media guy, as you guys can see, and as you guys know. But just from my opinion, I understand why that would make them feel a way, because it would make them feel like that in a way. And whether this is fair or not, I'll let you guys decide. But it probably makes them feel a way like, are you afraid? I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that differently. Is the fact that you are uneasy trying certain things holding us back as an offense and as a team? Because the players may feel like, well, if we do these things, if we do this play call, if we throw more out of being under the center, then maybe these big plays can happen. Now, obviously, we don't know that to be true either. So, I mean, they can do those exact plays and it results the exact same way that going from a regular pass play would. So we don't know. It's all speculation. We don't know if they would fare better with the play calls or not. But the players probably feel like maybe him being uneasy about certain play calls is limiting their potential on the team. So as far as that part, I guess I would fall as understanding on the teammates' perspective. But you guys know I try to give both perspectives on it. On Jalen Hurts' side, if I know certain things aren't my strengths and I know I have things that I need to improve on. Number one, I'm going to try to improve on them. That's number one. And number two, if I'm not comfortable doing certain things, why would I put the team in position to fall in because of me, pretty much? And obviously, if you win, it's on the quarterback. If you lose, it's on the quarterback. We know this. But why would I put the team in position to struggle because of me if I'm not comfortable doing certain things or executing certain plays or running certain or being in certain sets? Why would I put the team in jeopardy just because I want to test my limits or expand how I play or expand certain things that I normally do? Why wouldn't I just do what has worked and what's worked throughout my career until I improve on those things and get those things to a point where I'm comfortable bringing them to the team and we can do them in games and we can do these things, and I'm in a position to where I feel like I'm more confident that me doing those things at that point would also help the team. So from his standpoint, I would also understand, because why would he put the team in jeopardy if he's not comfortable doing those things? It would be smart of him to do what is comfortable for him. And more on that's kind of falls on the play caller more than anything, because instead of looking at Jalen Hurts away and thinking, oh, why aren't you doing these things? Why is the play caller giving him calls that the play caller knows is not comfortable to him? That's like if you if you're playing basketball, right? And you're the type of point guard that you like to run the show, right? You like to get your assist up. Yeah, you're gonna score, but you're more of like a Chris Paul point guard. You're gonna look to pass probably more than you shoot, and that's not a negative thing. That's actually a positive, because your teammates get to eat more. Your teammates are more in a rhythm. You get to operate the game more. So you're in a facilitator role. If I'm bringing you to the team, why would I put you in a position to where you're going to be our main scorer if I know that you're not comfortable doing that, or that you haven't done that throughout the course of your career? That would be more on me as a coach, and more on the communication side of it, because the communication between Jalen Hurts and the play callers and Sirianni should be, what are you comfortable with? And this is just my personal opinion. What are you comfortable with? Okay, we've been fortunate enough to win the Super Bowl with you. Okay, with you being our quarterback, and he won Super Bowl MVP as well. So this is a Super Bowl MVP we're talking about. So what are you comfortable with? And let's figure out how to operate out of those things the best. The best example of that, in my personal opinion, would probably be Lamar Jackson in Baltimore and Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. Here's what I mean by that. And you guys can state your views on this in the comments below. They didn't start calling, in my opinion, more plays to where Lamar Jackson got to really show off like his ability to be a in the pocket quarterback until he got, in my opinion, more adjusted and more comfortable to doing that at the NFL level. Not to say that he couldn't already do it when he came into the NFL, because he could, and extremely well. But he just got more comfortable and more, in my opinion, accurate doing it over time and later as his careers went on. So they started calling more of those plays. Same with Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs have been fortunate to where Patrick Mahomes has always had that bazooka of an arm, right? So they know that they can use Patrick Mahomes in passing sets and on passing plays and put certain plays in and use certain plays that they can use his arm more. It would be I'm not going to say dumb, but it would be not smart of the Chiefs for them to come to Patrick Mahomes with a playbook and say, so basically, we're going to change up what you do. So you're no longer going to be that Patrick Mahomes that we all know and love and can do like the 75-yard passes and behind the back passes. We're not going to do that anymore. Okay, we're going to scrap all that. We're not going to do the play action, all that. We're not going to do that no more. What we're going to do is we're going to have you run strictly, or I'm sorry, not strictly, but We're going to have you run majority read option plays to where you have no option to throw. You got an option to pitch if you want to. You can pitch it off to the running back if you want to. But that's about it. We're going to have you run strictly read option plays to where you either run it or you hand it off. That's going to be majority of your plays. I love Andy Reid as a play caller and as a football mind, but that would be so not smart of Andy Reid to do that, because not only does Patrick Mahomes not only does he falter in that scenario, but also the team falters in that scenario, because going back to what the article said, the team is not going to benefit if you're not doing something that you're comfortable at. So it goes back to the Jalen Hurts part about the personality, because what that led me to is this. They feel like that his personality traits or whatever have changed from what I'm reading in the articles. And I don't know him to be around him. They know if that's true, but this is just what we're hearing. Going back to the Mahomes scenario, just stay with me for a second. Going back to the Mahomes scenario, if the Chiefs came to Patrick Mahomes with that, the Chiefs don't think that Patrick Mahomes' energy would change a little bit? Don't you think he'll be a little upset from the fact that you're taking away a major part of his game? I think his personality would probably change just a little bit. Not to the fact of where he's blasting the team or whatever, no, but just would change from the fact of, I think he's pretty angry, the fact that he's not able to do what makes him Patrick Mahomes anymore. So if the Eagles expected him, and I don't know this to be true, that's just my view of it, if they expected Jalen Hurts to do things that he was uncomfortable with and try things that he was uncomfortable with, and that he probably knows isn't the best position for the team, and they expected him to stay the same person and just not have a problem with it, then that is SAWFT soft. Because what person do you take away their main strength, their main what they do? You have Steph Curry on the team, but you don't let him shoot. Why are you trying to change up something that's not broke? We know the cliche, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why are you trying to make him do things that he's not comfortable with, number one, and that he's made clear, obviously from what the articles say, he's made clear that he's not comfortable with it, because he changed, reportedly, he's been reluctant to change, to do things that you guys want him to do out of the play calls. So apparently he knows that he's not comfortable with these things. It's not like he's blindly not doing them. He probably knows that he's not as comfortable doing these things, and so he goes back to what he's comfortable with. Why is that a problem? You want a Super Bowl with him as your quarterback, and I'm not using that as a crutch. I'm just saying, you want a Super Bowl with him as a quarterback. There's been nothing that Jalen Hurts has done over his time being a quarterback, in my personal opinion, that just leads to him needing to just adjust in a way to where he needs to just become this quarterback that can do all the. He's fine doing what the things he does. Now, can he improve in certain areas? Of course, every quarterback can, every player can. But if he's not there yet, why are you trying to push him to do those things if he's not comfortable with it yet? He's already shown you the proof that he doesn't clearly need those things to produce. I mean, over 17,000 yards, 110 touchdowns, 3 Pro Bowls, a Super Bowl MVP, won the Super Bowl with him as a quarterback once again. And so what does he need to change? And if this is the dialogue that they're having, why is it a problem that why is it unexpected that his personality is changing? Now, I'm not saying it's right, because as a quarterback, you're the leader, okay? You're the leader. You're the guy that people look up to. You're the guy that people rely on for leadership. So you should be able to adjust in a more in a more mature emotional way than just changing how you act or just being completely shut down. But you should find a more mature way of handling it. But on the same token, I'm not mad that I'm not surprised, put it like that he's reportedly handling it like this, because why would he be comfortable and just happy-go-lucky with the fact that you guys are trying to, or that the play callers are reportedly trying to make him do stuff that he's not comfortable with, and for what reason? It's not even like a guaranteed result that it will benefit the team more, because to Jalen Hurts' defense, they didn't change the game plan before, and you won the Super Bowl with him at quarterback. So, and I hate to stress that, but it's just the facts. So, what's the problem now? I don't understand. I don't understand both sides. I'll be honest. I don't understand why they're trying to change his play style when he's clearly not comfortable with it. And I don't understand why necessarily they are caught off guard or feeling a certain way that he feels a certain way that they're doing it. Now, on Jalen Hurts' perspective, find a better way to handle it, a more mature way to handle it. I love Jalen Hurts as a quarterback. I think he's extremely talented and can do so many great things. And so I know it probably caught you off guard that they said you need to do these certain things that you're not necessarily comfortable with. So I know that probably is a little bit of a shock and probably a little caught off guard. But find a better, mature way to handle it. Look into some sports therapy and just find better ways to handle it, and find some better ways to like some more mature ways just to not make your teammates feel like that you're taking your anger out on them. So that's all I would say, but it's definitely a crazy situation though.